And now, broadcasting live from the Ginger and Baker studio in the heart of the Music District in beautiful downtown Fort Collins, Colorado, it's Live at Lunch on KRFC 88.9 FM. I'm your host today, David V., and today's special musical guest is Giant Walking Robots.
Summer on the rocks, so red. I saw myself walk right up to that space. So if you find yourself working your way today, don't need to find yourself, just those thoughts The ice forms in February. Cold rolls in. You wind up on yourself all alone. So if you find yourself, just walk over that ledge. See yourself being ahead. Be your own, living the way you feel. Don't hold back, don't give up. Feel the way you imagine life. See yourself being ahead. Be your own, living the way you feel. Don't hold back, don't give up. Feel the way you imagine life.
Giant walking robots here on KRFC's Live at Lunch. Boy, I enjoyed the dub on that one.
Thank you.
I think you guys did too for a little bit there. All right, the first two songs were Tonight and February. Tonight's a brand new tune that you've got coming out here April 14th, is it? On Color Red Records?
Yeah, that's correct. April 14th, we are releasing that through Color Red Records. The version we just played is actually a remix version that we've never played live, so we did that special for you guys, just to throw everybody off from what they're going to hear on the single in a few weeks, you know.
Well, they can tune in to KRFC's RadioVision on YouTube and catch this version again, obviously. Well, all right, let's introduce the band today. Dave Halchak on vocals, guitar, and synth. And Matt Schooley on drums, vocals back there, percussion. Wilson Cava, guitar, synth back there. And George Demopoulos on bass and synth. How are you guys doing today?
Good. Fantastic.
All right.
Doing great.
Great in here.
You're all living in Denver or in Denver vicinity these days. And do you get up to Fort Collins much here?
We try to, yeah. You know, we're looking forward to coming up here in a few weeks, actually.
For Foco MX?
For Foco MX, yeah, we're excited to be a part of that. Excited to be a part of this. But yeah, it's close enough to get up here, no problem.
All
so
right.
if anyone invites us, we'll be here.
Well, speaking of that, you will be at FOCO MX on April 29th, is it?
Correct. Yeah, Saturday
at
night.
Avogadro's number. And then you've got some additional upcoming shows. Your mom's house, April 8th in Denver, which not your mom's house, but the venue, your mom's house.
Yes.
It is his birthday.
Yes,
on
that's
April
kind
8th?
of a birthday celebration.
Birthday
tomorrow,
bash.
tomorrow night. Yeah.
Old enough to drink?
For the band and myself, actually. We share a birthday.
And then,
21.
yeah, almost. April 15th, you're going to be in Evergreen at the Wood Cellar.
Yep.
And then this summer, June 24th, you're going to be, that weekend anyway, you're going to be at the Reggae River Fest in Bellevue.
Yep.
Should be a good time.
Yeah, we'll play Saturday for that one. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Well, Dave, you're from New Jersey, not really known as a hotbed of reggae, is it?
It is not. It is not. But there's a lot of oceans, so I mean, it kind of makes sense, I guess, right?
Sure. Yeah. So, what brought you from Jersey out here to Colorado?
I moved out here. It's been 14 years now. When I moved out here, the price of living was much more affordable, so that was definitely enticing. I was lucky to buy a house, so I kind of lucked out there. I'm a big snowboarder, so the snowboarding out here is skiing and snowboarding is great, and the music scene. Those three things were kind of the driving factors, and I'm sure happy I made the move. As we said, I do miss the ocean sometimes and some family, but love Colorado.
Do you have a day job outside of music?
I do, but it's inside music.
Oh, yeah.
So I manage bands as well.
Right.
So I play in bands and I also manage bands.
What's a plug for the site to people to get a hold of you?
For the band is giantwalkingrobots.com.
Right. Yeah. And they can reach you through Giant Walking Robot.
Yep. Yeah, I am the contact for our band. We pretend like I'm not, but I am.
Okay, wonderful. And just going around the room here, I'll start with George. George, you're from New Hampshire. Yeah. We don't get a lot of New Hampshireites here in Colorado.
Because no one wants to leave New Hampshire.
Everybody just wants to stay home, huh?
That's not exactly true, but New Hampshire is a nice place.
So what brought you out here?
I went to college at DU, and I started skiing and forgot to leave.
Like so many of us.
That's such a unique story.
Yeah, right? Never heard that before.
What'd you study at DU?
Journalism.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you a journalist outside of music?
I write blog posts about pot.
All right. Well, it's Colorado. Yeah. You're probably a busy man.
Yeah. I'm self-employed. The worst thing about being self-employed is I hate my boss and all my workers. So.
Well, you'll grow to love him, I'm sure. All right, and then we've got Wilson Cava back there.
Hey,
How you doing?
good. How's it going?
I'm great, and you're from Chicago.
I am from Chicago.
And what brought you out?
A lot of the same music and the mountains. Just love the mountains. And Chicago's got a great music scene. It's got a great eating scene. But you know what? Music and snowboarding for me, that's where it really gets me.
How's the draw? So do you guys go out together? It sounds like almost everybody's doing the skiing, snowboarding.
We do make events out of it. It's kind of like fun where we'll go somewhere because it's got good skiing accommodations, good boarding accommodations. Unfortunately, our resident here does not. You'll get to him in a minute.
Yeah.
He'll explain to you
He's not
why
into
he
it,
doesn't
huh?
join us. He probably doesn't like us very much, really. So yeah, the draw for us non-natives has been music and the mountains. So yeah.
So Matt, you're from Denver.
Yes,
You're one
yes.
of the few natives
Natives, I guess
here
you
in
could
Colorado.
say so. Yeah, definitely.
And but you're not that much into skiing.
You know what? When you play drums and you ski, I'm not the best, and so if I fall, it's going to be a really rough show sitting down the whole time.
Messing up your hands or your whatever.
Yes, from experience. So I don't want to, I'm not the greatest, so I don't want to hurt myself before a gig.
Yeah, I feel for you. I've had an experience here about 10 years ago. That I used to ski faithfully every season, and being a longtime Colorado resident, you either give it up or the cash.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive too.
Traffic's there.
Broken ribs,
Broken ribs, tailbone,
torn rotator cuffs, and
tailbone's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, well, now that we've introduced everybody, let's get back into a little bit of music. Going to play Brick by Brick. Is this off the new album also, or?
So we had kind of briefly touched on it. We have a lot of releases planned for this year. Brick by Brick will be one of those. That'll be coming out on our studio album, which will be later in the year, possibly into early 2024, around that time frame.
Okay, great.
Yeah, but it's a new one as well.
All right.
Came walking right down the hall. Don't wanna see shadows anymore. Roll down the road, pass right past these worlds. Everybody knows it. No one wants to miss it. Brick by brick, we can build together. Brick by brick, stormy season weather. Brick by brick, we can build together. Make it last forever. We can fit together. Brick by brick. Still young while we searching through the light. 'Cause the night breeze heavy on you. Seen your eyes, can't stop now. Roll right through while the sun peeps its light. 'Cause you build it up and you take it through the light. Brick by brick, we can build together. Brick by brick, stormy season weather. Brick by brick, stormy season weather. We can build together, make it last forever. Brick by brick.
Giant Walking Robots here on KRFC's Live at Lunch. Yeah, that was fun. I enjoyed that one. Brick by Brick here by Giant Walking Robots on Live at Lunch. Yeah, I guess this is a appropriate time to talk a little bit about influences and stuff. You're more than just a reggae band. You've got some dance, some synth, electronic. What initially got you into wanting, the influences that made you want to play the kind of music you're playing now?
Sure. So the name probably makes a little more sense when people start hearing the diversity that we kind of jump around to different feels and influences. I love reggae music. I will be the first one to admit we are not a traditional reggae band. You can tell that by listening to us. But that was kind of the idea from the beginning, is to incorporate a lot of different influences of styles and genres that I and the other guys really enjoy, was to have reggae be the base, and then we kind of jump in all these other avenues, whether it be electronic influences or jam band influences, kind of all over the map, you know. So we like to keep people on their toes. We like to jump around to different genres, keep it exciting and fresh for ourselves.
Is there a particular couple of groups that the band as a whole like to draw from, be influenced from?
I would say, yeah. Something like Stick Figure, who's a really good young reggae band.
Don't you love Wisdom, their new album? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Blew up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we also love STS9, which is kind of more on the electronic side. The Disco Biscuits, also a little more on the jamtronic side.
Yeah, the Brick by Brick, I get the Disco Biscuits kind of influence there. Who else were you
I saw my 100th Disco Biscuit show last night.
No kidding. Seriously.
Yeah.
Last
Yes,
week.
I did.
Last week you did, right?
last
Deadhead's
week.
got nothing on you. What do you call it, Biscuit Head?
I guess so.
That's George, our resident biscuit.
That's me.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, one of the things that we do as well is that every style of that Dave mentioned is got one foot in how would a reggae band do this if this was their one thing to do in jam. This is their one thing to do in dub.
Yeah,
If they
I get
did
the rhythm. Yeah.
So it's like we don't just shift and go, we're going to do electronica now. We kind of still have that. We try to have that lens. Whether it comes across or not, that's not the point. It's kind of like one foot is in. That's our launching point,
Well, and I guess while we're on this subject too, I know a lot of you play in additional bands, and I'm sure you're influenced by that kind of music. And so, Wilson, why don't you tell us, for instance, who else are you playing with?
I play with a band based out of Chicago called Kava, and I also play with Dave in a Bob Marley tribute called Wake Up and Live. And those are my main. This is Giant Walking Robots is my
main
passion.
Main passion. And how about you, George? Are you playing with anybody else?
I'm in a band called Schema Things.
And what type of genre is that?
It's Tronica.
Tronica?
Yeah, Tronica.
Okay, so classify that for us. I haven't heard that before.
Well, it's like jamtronica, but you want to say less syllables. So you say Tronica.
Simple it up,
Jammin'. Okay, and of course back there on the drums we've got Matt. And Matt, what are you playing with anybody else, or are you just your full-time gig?
I play with a lot of people, actually.
Yeah?
I play with this band, Atomga from Denver. They're Afrobeat. I play in a band called Juicebox, which is like funky soul music.
Okay.
They used to be called Trichome. We used to play
Trichome.
here
I'm
way
familiar
back
with
in the day, yeah. I play with Ben Pooh and Crew, which is like blues music.
Yeah?
I play with this band Sleazy Grease, which is like more funk music. And I play with a jazz combo called Jive City.
All right, so you've got plenty of time to add other additional bands too, right?
Yes, definitely, yeah.
And Dave, he'd mentioned that you guys are playing together. Is there anything else that you're doing too?
Yeah, so Giant Walking Robots, of course, but yeah, we have Wake Up and Live, which is the Bob Marley tribute band, and then I also play solo shows where I do kind of like a Keller Williams style, Mike Love style with the live looping and things like that.
Nice.
So
Mike Love from Beach Boys.
Not that Mike Love.
Okay.
Mike Love from Hawaii, who's he's live looping artist, but he also has a band. He's a reggae act.
Oh, okay. Great.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
Just had to clarify that.
Yep.
As I say,
definitely.
reggae Beach Boys or
I
something.
know, you think Mike Love, Beach Boys, yeah.
All right, so Sunlight's the next one. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
So this is another brand new one. We're playing a bunch of new ones for you guys today. This one just kind of came together, and wrote it a little while ago, but sometimes, I or any of the guys will write something and, we just don't get to it yet. And this one has finally come together, and we're pretty excited about it and feel like it's a nice upbeat reggae song. Or our version of reggae.
Important distinction. We just want to be part of the club, We don't need to be members. Yeah. I don't know how do I do that? Carry the one.
All right, well, Giant Walking Robots here on Live at Lunch.
Miss the sunlight, need the sun to put my face. The love I feel when we're around, space where love has grown, where we all belong. I need the sun, need the light to put my face. Need the love I feel when you're around. It holds me in this space. Holding on this way that we see you, and we can't get all this hate done another night. Heavy on my mind is life tonight. Life slip right back through. I don't mind. I need the sun.
Giant Walking Robots here on KRFC 88.9 FM's Live at Lunch. I'm going to take just a second here to remind everybody to be sure to go to our KRFC YouTube channel, which is RadioVision KRFC 88.9 FM. And while you're there, subscribe. It gives you a notification each week after you're a subscriber who the artist will be playing and appearing that week is. And obviously it benefits all of our wonderful artists and KRFC. Appreciate it. We are streaming live at krfcfm.org, live worldwide, and we do have a free phone app that you can download and take KRFC with you anywhere in the world, literally with you, and it's fun. Got to do it. Hey, I want to get back into a little bit about things like mentors. What got you into music originally, Dave?
Oh, man. Yeah, I, long story short, I guess, right? When I was a kid, like many others, I actually wanted to play the bass. I was, at the time, really into Metallica, and I really enjoyed their bass player. The man who used to own this guitar was a really close friend, family friend. You know, in New Jersey, when you have really close family friends, I don't know, maybe you do this around the world as well, but he was my uncle. You know, he wasn't technically my uncle, but he was my uncle. Talked me into playing guitar, and all these years later, I'm still playing guitar, and he has passed away, which is why I have his guitar now.
Is that a standard or deluxe?
Standard, but yeah, I don't know, unfortunately, many details about it because I do know he bought it in the early 90s, but I don't have any paperwork or anything. And
serial numbers.
Yes. Yeah, I've been told that I can research it. I don't
need to.
You know, yeah.
So how old were you when that originally happened?
Well, originally I was about 11, 12, and I started playing. I never practiced. So my parents were like, well, we're not going to pay for lessons if you're not practicing. Kind of took a step back, and then later into high school, I really started getting back into it, probably around 16, 17, and actually practicing and wanted to play and wanted to learn. I think I was just a little too young.
When was that transition from Metallica to reggae influences?
Very important distinction.
Yeah, very. You know, I honestly, a lot of people say, oh, I listen to everything. I really do listen to a lot of different styles of music. I'm not as into the Metallicas or Panteras or heavier stuff like that anymore, but I'll listen to electronic or reggae or hip hop or, you know, singer-songwriter. I really do. It kind of hits on many different levels with many different genres for me personally.
Well, how about you, Matt? You always wanted to be a drummer?
No, I actually started out as a bass player.
Well, this is with everybody in bass. You got you lucked out.
He's the best.
He's actually the best. Yeah, he's the best at all of our instruments.
So bass, then guitar and keys, and then I was always a little too broke to buy a drum set. So some of my friends, they forced me to be a drummer, so they bought me a drum set, which is actually at Dave's house that we rehearse on all the time. So I was kind of forced to be a drummer.
Because it was needed in all the bands that you wanted to play with.
It was needed at that time, yeah. Everyone needed a drummer, and, you know,
You always need a drummer and a goalie.
A drummer and a goalie, there we go.
So do you always play with a smaller bass?
No, actually, I have a 22 and a 20.
Just curious if that was your preference or not.
Normally I would play this for like a bar gig, but for this band, the way I have the head set up, we use a lot of like drum triggers and electronic stuff. So I want something that's controllable. It doesn't have much reverb. So sometimes a 22, it's hard to hone in the sound with it. Whereas this, I could just put thick heads on it.
It keeps wanting to resonate out.
Yep,
Yeah.
it doesn't resonate, and I can control it a little bit more.
Wonderful. Well, Mr. Wilson.
Well,
you're playing a little bit of everything.
Yeah, well, I mean, I fake most of it, so.
I don't know about it.
Fun fact about Schoolie is he's actually the best guitarist in the band. He just doesn't want anyone else playing drums. I got this, guys. As George says, he's the goalie.
He just needs a couple extra hands.
Yeah, right.
Then we're all out of work.
Yeah.
Right, no, so yeah, that's my one fun fact about Schoolie. I've got many more, but, you know, he's right next to me, and he's got drumsticks, so I'm a hoe.
So growing up in Chicago, was it rock and blues that you were listening to?
Yeah, well, sometimes when I was a kid, I played guitar because I heard Eddie Van Halen, and I was just too young to not ignore it. and kind of got into guitar-heavy bands when I was a kid, growing up in the 80s. There was sure a bunch of them.
Was your family musical?
Most of my family plays music, but no guitar. Guitar was the tool of the devil. You play something else.
Piano.
Oh, yeah. No, I wanted to play saxophone. It's like, what's the next coolest instrument I can play in band? Saxophone. Well, we're going to start you out on clarinet. Like, oh, why are you making this so hard? I just want to play Eddie
Do you
Van
still
Halen.
play clarinet?
No, I don't. I wish I could now, but yeah. And then going through the ages, guitar started to kind of fall by the wayside. Everyone was sick of the 80s shred and whatnot. And then I discovered Fish and decided, oh, yeah, that's how I want to play guitar. And then I had to go back to school and...
More of a jam style?
Yeah, well, it's not just more of a jam. It is, but you can't just fake jam when you're trying to do this stuff. You have to go back and learn jazz. You have to learn bluegrass. You have to learn a whole bunch of different
genres.
Techniques, yeah, genres too. And then the 2000s folded into lots of electronica, and I've been trying to chase how to fit guitar into electronica for the last 20 years. So
doing a good job of it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. You're hired.
George, did you always want to play bass, or are you the one guy in the band that didn't want to play bass?
Funny you should ask. I actually I took piano lessons like when I was a kid, and music is mostly about counting to 4, and I've been counting to 4 my entire life. And you guys know School of Rock with Jack Black?
Yeah, sure.
So I saw that movie with one of my friends, and he played guitar, and he was like, "You should play bass and be in my band." And here I am.
How old were you at the time?
I think I was like 14 or something.
No kidding.
Something like
Okay. All right. And so you've always been a bass guy,
Yeah.
except,
Well, actually,
you
I'm a talented multi-instrumentalist. As you can see, I also have a keyboard.
That's what I say.
We try to hold him back a little bit so he doesn't get too big of a head.
Well, I noticed it's a huge keyboard that you're using too.
Massive.
So-
Yeah.
but that's okay. It's doing the trick. All right. So tell me a little bit about Green Line Golden Hour, the next tune. Interesting.
It's actually a song I wrote from hanging out with Wilson too much. I feel like this last year, house music has been very popular. And specifically, Wilson's from Chicago. I got family from Chicago. I used to go out there when I was a kid a lot. And I just remember that kind of sticking out to me. So me and Wilson were in the studio a bunch. One night I was kind of feeling I went home and kind of put this song together and then brought it to our next practice. And here we are today.
All right. So another new tune.
Another new tune.
All right. Giant Walking Robots on Live at Lunch. It's a groove fest here with Giant Walking Robots on KRFC's Live at Lunch. Man, if that didn't make you want to dance, nothing will, huh?
Thank you.
That's great.
That's the
Love
point,
that
right?
vibe. Yeah, that's the right vibe. Well, before I get too far into the show today, I'd like to thank our team today that always does the sound and the video. Does such a fantastic job with Andy House and Colton Boening on the audio, and Eric Delano and Jeremy Smith on the video. Thanks, guys. Fantastic job as always. And I want to remind our listeners also that the Giant Walking Robots have shows coming up here soon, and they'll be playing April 8th at your mom's house, the venue in Denver, and April 15th in Evergreen at the Wood Cellar, and also April 29th at Foco MX here in Fort Collins at Avogadro's Number, and June 24th, that weekend, that Saturday, the Reggae River Fest in Bellevue, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, great,
Yes,
cool.
sir.
Well, guys, we've got about 10 minutes left, and I'm sure we've got time for both Urban and My Pocket and Riots if you want to do them both. It's up to you guys. Anything you'd like to add that maybe we didn't touch base on today?
We kind of touched on it a little bit, I guess, but we do have a lot of releases planned this year. We've got singles coming out. We've got a live album.
And what's the best place for listeners to go and obtain that music?
Best place would probably be our website, giantwalkingrobots.com, or Instagram or Facebook or any of the social media platforms. That's going to link you out to wherever you prefer to listen.
Well, and where do you prefer people to buy your music from?
Wherever they can, at shows. At shows, we actually have CDs still.
Wonderful.
But also, Apple Music, Spotify, you wouldn't buy it, but, you can stream on there. We do get a little money from the streams.
Bandcamp, anything like that?
We do have Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Excellent point, David.
You make a little more.
Yes, that is true. We do have everything available on Bandcamp, at shows, live shows, on our merch page.
Wonderful.
Things like that. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thanks for coming up from Denver today, guys. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm going to be feeling George's bass here for a little while afterwards. That last one especially, man, it was getting me in the chest, and I felt good, but I don't usually get that in here, so that was nice.
Say it, George.
No problem.
All right, guys. So thanks again. Giant Walking Robots here on 88.9 FM KRFC's Live at Lunch.
On my way to see a lady, not doing any harm. Why you gotta stop me as I walk on by? Why you gotta hold me when I'm on my own? Nothing but in my pocket, whistling melodies in my head. Where do you go when the lights go down and we light the night? Moving on from the wild outside, I'm just going to a party, trying to see my friends. I hope I don't bother you. Nothing but in my pocket, whistling melodies. He's young, but I still can't find my way. Feeling is always up in my face. So be with me by my side. I promise I won't leave you. Why are you going astray? Nothing but in my pocket, whistling melodies in my head. Where do you go when the lights go down and we ride the night? Riots in the street tonight. Everything is changing, but it's moving in the same direction. And we can't sit around. And we can't wait around for you to change it. 'Cause we know that you want, for you to build it. 'Cause we know that you can, and you won't own us as we turn our minds off you. Well, they pinned us to the ground. Well, it wasn't meant to be like this. We're always on the road. It wasn't meant to be like this. Too full of the sons and the daughters, left to figure. Build your walls and we walk right over. Raise your hand and we love right through. We have won't be put out. So we turn our minds off of you. They pinned us to the ground. It wasn't meant to be like this. We're always on the run. It wasn't meant to be like Stay away from the heat that we bring.
Thank you for listening to Live at Lunch, and thank you to the Music District here in the heart of Fort Collins, Colorado. Live at Lunch is produced by KRFC 88.9 FM in the Ginger and Baker studio. If you'd like to appear on Live at Lunch, email our music director, David Vacek, at david@krfcfm.org.